Yo, yo, RX back with another stream. This time it is Sunday night after some fights the night before, which means we are having the hangover to UFC Houston. Yeah. I feel like the title for these are usually longer because there's usually more to talk about on a Sunday night, but yeah, the title of the Hangover Houston, not a lot to say, not a lot else going on in sports. Um, yeah, pretty much just UFC Houston Hangover. We'll talk about the biggest talking points after the card, and we'll look at the Brand Moreno card a little bit. So outside of that, not a lot to talk about. What's up to the rest who's in chat before stream? And yeah, not much to really say. Don't got really much planned. I get outside just talking about some UFC stuff, and yeah, y'all ever got any topics you want to talk about? I'm always all ears. I can't think of anything really because NFL is not happening at the moment. The NBA is the NBA, and then what the fuck else is there? So yeah, gonna talk about some fights and all that good shit, and go from there. So let's do just that. Let's get the screen share up. We good? I believe we are good. Yes, we are good. Yeah, I've noticed actually I've been a little bit quicker lately to have my audio working quickly after screen share, which I appreciate, though. Thank you. And yeah, let's talk about some fight shit. We'll talk about the Moreno card for a second, obviously. Let's talk about the aftermath of this card, the main talking points. A night later of Strickland and Hernandez last night. So, yeah, it was definitely a weird card, to say the very least. Definitely a very weird card. I don't know why I completely had a brain fart there for a minute. I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? But yeah, this was definitely an interesting card. Not yet. There are some talking points leaving this card, so let's look at the biggest ones. Obviously, the biggest one is Sean fucking Strickland. Getting the win, looking great, looking maybe the best he ever has, and how he's clearly the number one contender to fight Hamzat, and beat Hamzat. I think they're right. They're strict, like, Dana's gonna force that fight to happen. Hamzat ain't gonna run away to light heavyweight. A, there's no fucking reason behind it, and B, Strickland Hamzat's the fight everyone wants to see now. And again, Strickland's gonna beat him, which no one wants to admit that, but it's gonna happen. He looked again really good last night, fluffy. Not many people are talking about him now. He'll bounce back, but it's like, yeah, God, this was not a good look for him. Now he's not young either. He's 32 and a half almost, so he's far from being a fucking spring chicken. So this might be close to his last chance to make a title run. And yeah, Strickland's on his title run again. Number one in line. Like, if you want to say jumping Imavov, but I don't even know how Imavov is in the line because he hasn't done anything. And yeah, Strickland clearly number one contender. The biggest talking point last night. Sucks that UFC's being little bitches, cutting his mic mid like post fight, but whatever. Strickland's gonna say whatever he wants, and Hamzat's gonna be intriguing. Well, it's not gonna be at the White House, which is a fucking shame because I don't think they're gonna let Hamzat near the White House, and I don't think you'd say yes to that fight anyway. That on that short of notice for Hamzat standards, but yeah, I could 100% see that fight anytime between July and October, which it sucks that it might be as late as October, but that's also Hamzat for you. He never fights, so knock on wood. Hopefully, we get that fight booked immediately because Strickland took minimal damage and Hamzat hasn't fought in what, a year. So, like, he's never injured, but you know, he still doesn't fucking fight. And yeah, we'll see what happens, man. If Hamzat did run away to light heavyweight to duck fucking Strickland, then I guess Strickland's gonna beat up Imavov again in a fight no one cares about, but that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. That's gonna happen. And I think one way or another, I'll say right now, Sean Strickland's gonna end 2026 as middleweight champion. So that's crazy as it is. Sean Strickland's the best middleweight in the world right now. And who the fuck would have thought that a year ago after he just got dusted up by DDP? So crazy. He somehow has gotten better. And see what happens, man. See what happens. Some other talking points. Euros Medic, and I think the most interesting thing with Medic is that Serbia card they're gonna do, which A, I didn't know they could or would do a Serbia card, and B, Euros Medic's insane career turnaround. So good on him, man. Really good on Medic. He's gonna get a main event that card in Serbia, whenever the fuck that is, middle of the year, I would imagine, during the summer. And that should be insane. That should be a really interesting atmosphere and card. And yeah, who Medic fights on that card. And then I would say the other giant talking point is, holy shit, Melquizael Costa. Yeah, this kid's fucking phenomenal. Like, he is that motherfucker. It's almost a shame that he's like the third biggest talking point after this card, because like what happened after him, but let's not forget how fucking phenomenal Melky is. What he did is one of the most surprising knockouts I've seen in a long time. To finish Dan Ige the way that he did, no less. Dude, what the fuck? So, Melky's fucking amazing, and this kid's gonna be something. So, this kid's gonna be something special, in my opinion. I think his ceiling is as high as a top 10, top 5 guy. I will gladly pick him if he were to fight like Arnold Allen or Yusuf Zalal. So, but he's probably gonna fight Pitbull, which is fucking layup. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I guess Neil and Ige are kind of their own talking point of the old guard kind of falling off. Neil at 35, Ige at 34. Both debatably going to be out of the top 15 after the update on Tuesday, so we'll see. Or if not, they're going to be low in the rankings. And yeah, both their runs kind of looking over. Neil's especially, he looks super washed. For Ige, I think he can still win some fights because he is still really good, but yeah, I think his time on the top 15 guy is kind of over, which is insane to think about for him being a top name in the division for 5-6 years now. So kind of crazy, but yeah, it was not a good card for our old dudes. So, but yeah, those are the main talking points out of the big 3 fights. No one cares about this. Not really many people are talking about this. We know Jacoby looked great and the finish was really good. Not very much to say there. No one's talking about this garbage, thankfully. People are talking about this. This was, a lot of people are saying they showed that fight tonight and it was a really good fight. I agree with both of those settlements. Statements, whatever. This was fun. This was a good fight and over-delivered. Nothing said here or here or here or really any of these other fights. So yeah, outside of the top 3 and the Liao fight, not much is getting talked about after this card. But what else are you going to talk about? Jocelyn deserves a little more talk, but they're not going to talk about Jocelyn goddamn Edwards. And again, Jacoby Smith does as well. Outside of that, like, what are you going to talk about? Jordan Levin, Carly Judice, Punale, who all are good, but it's like, what are you going to say? So, But yeah, that's about where we are with this card a day later, seeing what's gonna happen with middleweight and who Strickland's gonna fight for the belt. Um, Melky and Medic now joining the top 15. It's interesting. Was the card good? I don't think so, but it ended good, and we did end with some interesting talking points. So we're gonna see what happens, man. We're really gonna see what happens, and yeah, very interesting. Very interesting card. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to see the rankings update with what happens with Melky and Medic and Neil and EK. So we'll talk about that on Tuesday. But yeah, not a bad card. Well, thanks to the ending, overall pretty bad card, but a few interesting talking points a night later. And I can't really think of much else to say there, so we'll talk about what we got coming up this week in Mexico City, Mexico. Then we stay on the road and we leave America to head to Mexico for a card that should be okay. Definitely should be okay. It's some good fights on it, but some bad. The order's not great, and so it could very well be ass, but it also could be fun. Moreno and Kavinov. Obviously, like always on Sunday night, I'm not gonna go in depth on these fights. At least, if you ask what I think, I'll tell you. But if not, I'm just gonna do what I always do. And for Sunday night, I'm gonna be vague, say the fight, what I think of it, and that's that. Tuesday, we'll really break them down. But yeah, UFC's first return to Mexico in a year. Was meant to be there for Noche, but that fell through. So hopefully they can. I think it was the same arena, no less. Hopefully they can have you go to Mexico for the first time for Noche this year, and see what fucking happens. So very good poster. First card, well, second card out of America this year, and we'll see if it's better than what Australia got. I actually think it is probably a better card on paper. Let's take a look. 13 fights from Mexico, beginning with a debut battle between Wes Schultz and Damian Pinas. I'm not gonna talk about betting odds or my picks either, obviously. Flying debut battle beginning tonight. Two contender series guys from this last season. Schultz not on the higher scale of contender series guys. Pinas unproven prospect we're not seeing a lot of. Should be a fine way to open tonight. Both guys look like they can be fun. Should be a fun opener. Then we got, and this is the first of like 4 or 5 people who are returning after a long breakaway. We have Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Eric Silva making his first walk in like a year and a half to almost 2 years. I'm trying to I remember his last fight when he hurt his leg against Naimov. I forget what card that was on though. What was that? I don't remember what card that was on, but yeah, that was back in 2024. Eric Silva's back, a guy who got a contract on Contender Series a couple years ago. He's like 39 years old, not active. Marshall coming off getting fucked over against Myron Santos. Yeah, this is definitely one of the fights in the lock of the night debate. I don't really think I need to hide who I'm picking here, but if you need to take a guess, go ahead. And yeah, at least the one good thing about seeing fighters return after a long layoff is they're not wasting time, not fighting anymore, so that's good. And maybe so we're looking better. I'm gonna say I doubt it. He's already 0-2 in the UFC, so. Then we have the first 2 female fights on the card, and this one could actually be good. Like, no bullshit. I know, oh, you're the WMA defender. Yeah, I fucking am. Because I am not a fucking moron. But this fight could actually be a banger if this one fight is a night. I would not be shocked. And we have our third fight of the night, another Contender Series debut. Inesta Carrasqueta versus Sofia Montenegro. Um, yeah, this could be a fun one. This could be a really fun striking match. Inesta's a kickboxer. Sofia's, in my opinion, a female Robovics, which we all know how great Esteban Robovics is. And this could be a banger. This could be a fucking banger. Excited to see Sofia debut. Inesta back after a year away. She fought on the first card 2025 and now back here. This could be a banger. This is definitely one I would keep an eye on. And yeah, that could be a fun fight. Another fight that could be really interesting is another debut and another return after a while. In our fourth fight of the night, Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. Reyes debuting of Contender Series. He's more of a veteran than like one of the normal Contender Series alum. And Andrade is 40, fighting for the first time since I believe 2024 because he got fucking suspended. And now he's moving back up to featherweight after being at bantamweight for a while, so we'll see how that goes. This could be interesting. Javier usually knocks people out. Douglas is a really strong old man. So this could be interesting. This could be another really fun fight. I'll give this card one thing. Even if the fighters are kind of ass, a good amount of them can be really fun fights. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, that should be an interesting one. Andrade back, where it's making the debut. Should be intriguing. And then we have maybe the lowest level fight possible, if that's even possible. We have in our fifth fight of the night, Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho. Yes, Chris Moutinho is still in the UFC. Well, back in the UFC for whatever goddamn reason. I have my doubts that this fight happens because Christian Quinones pulls out of fights as consistently as you fucking can. So this is his first fight since 2023, 2024. I want to say he's not fought in a long time. And for Moutinho, obviously this is his second fight back after Malcolm Wellmaker sent his chin across the fucking arena. I can't believe I'm about to say these words, but I really think Moutinho could win this fight. Quinones haven't fought in a while and wasn't even looking that good when he was. This is a really low level fight. I know a lot of people are just going to pick Quinones and move on, but I'm not saying I'm not picking Quinones, don't take it that way, but I'm not as confident as you usually would be when in a Moutinho fight, so let's see what happens there. And let's see if Quinones at least shows up to the goddamn fight. You know, that's a challenge for him, so see what happens. Then we have in the prelim co-main, a fight that should be on the main card because it's the top 10 fight in women's bantamweight. We have Macy Chasson versus Eileen Perez. Machine Gun Kelly versus the chick who mainly just shakes her ass and somehow is on a 5-fight winning streak. Speaking of fighters who don't make to fights very often, Macy Chasson, good to see you. Are you actually going to make weight this week? I doubt it. Eileen somehow on a 5-fight winning streak in the top 10 of the division. Chasson kind of in a must-win after losing 2 in a row and missing weight for one of them, I believe. Yeah, this should be an intriguing one. See if Eileen can continue her streak, or if she gets to a 6-fight winning streak and talks to be in the top 5. If that shows either if Eileen's actually a respectable fighter or one's bandwidth's just fucking putrid, you tell me. And let's see what happens. Not really a lot to say there. And then the featured prelim fight is so fucking pathetic, it's not even funny. How is this guy still here? We have in our featured prelim Jose Medina versus Ryan Gondra. Gondra knockout in the first. Medina's one of the worst fighters of all time. I don't know why he still gets fights. Not much to say there. Next. Moving to the main card, which is very solid. Could either be really good or kind of underwhelming. We begin the main card with Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. Luna debuted on Noche last year on short notice. Looked really good against Quang Lee, 7-0, 21 years old. The Border Boy is his nickname, which is awesome. For Angel Pacheco, this is his first fight in like 2 or 3 years. He's only won one UFC. He really got signed just because he got his ass beat on the Contender Series and it was a fun fight. That one loss was a couple years ago to Callan Longrain. I don't even remember what card that was on, but yeah, he's been off for a while, back now. Yeah, I think we all know who's winning this fight, and it ain't the guy who is 7-3 and it looks like a goddamn plumber who hasn't fought in like 3 years. But we'll see what happens. So if we need to really say that, there's a few fights on this card. I would say 1, 2. That you want to say 3, but I'm not going to. 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say 6. At least 6, or maybe even 7 fights that are probably one-sided. So we'll see how many of those hold true. And yeah, another one of those is our second fight of the main card, a debut that y'all should not fucking overlook. This is a really big debut in my opinion, because I think this guy can be something. We have another second fight of the main card, a big debut at flyweight between Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. If y'all, I know if you've watched me before, y'all know I've hyped up Emmanuel Rodriguez plenty because it's deserved, and I'm going to again here because it's goddamn deserved. Emmanuel making his debut was on Ultimate Fighter, got robbed, won on Contender Series, now in the big show. Very young, very decent fighter. I think this kid's special. I think this kid is gonna really be something, or can be something. He's fucking good. He is really damn good. I think it's funny he's on Cardiff Moreno because I think he can almost be the next Moreno for this division. He's fucking good, and fighting Kevin Borjas, who is not any of those things I just said, Peruvian Kev. Yeah, this shit is a complete showcase fight for Emmanuel, and yeah, I'm excited. This kid's fucking good, man. Trust me. If he loses, and I'm an idiot, fine. But when I have a feeling about talent, I'm usually wrong. But sometimes I've been right. Sean O'Malley, anybody? So we'll see what happens. And yeah, this kid's good. This kid's good. Go staying in that division at flyweight. Our third fight of the main card, another pretty basic one. Edgar Shiraz versus Felipe Buiz. Good to see Edgar Shiraz back. Very fun fighter. Only got to see him one time last year, which is a shame. Felipe Buiz, we did see twice last year. I keep forgetting he fought at Rafael Esteban. Buiz not very good, and he's really old. Shiraz, fun fighter. I think we know who's getting the win here. And yeah, not a lot to say there. And then we hit, I guess you want to call it the big three, beginning with a fight that can be really fun or just really annoying. The featured bout, Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green, everyone's favorite gangster. Yeah, this is gonna be a really frustrating one. I might think this is the hardest fight to pick on the card because I don't trust Zellhuber and I really don't trust Bobby Green in 2026. Cause I don't think he looked good in 2025 and that fucking win. So yeah, not looking forward to this one. Though Huber just got bitched out by Michael Johnson. Bobby Green is super washed. Yeah, should be fun. Maybe is King Green, who's known to be annoying. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll see what fucking happens. Don't be shocked if there's an upset there, though Huber's not good at winning fights. He should win. Then we got the co-main event of the evening. This should get right back to normal territory, as this is an easy fight to predict. As we have in our co-main event of the evening at bantamweight, a very intriguing fight in the division for a young prospect in it. We have Chito Vera versus David Martinez. Yeah, I think we kind of already know what's going to happen here. Cheeto's on his last legs in his UFC career. He did beat Zahabi. He got fucked over. And not like he looked that good in that fight anyway. He's on his last legs. I think he's in his mid-30s now. He's not a top 15 guy. I don't think he ever really was. And now he's getting fed to Martinez, who's very good. Was able to beat Rob Font pretty soundly. Now should do the same. Not much to say there. Might be the end of the Cheeto show, and his career will really be made off. His career will always just be remembered as a guy who won by fluke injury against Sean O'Malley. Because besides that, has Cheeto done anything? No. Well, that's pretty simple there. And then the main event of the evening, the fight that makes goddamn no sense, and they could have picked so many better replacements. But instead, they went with this, as we have our main event of the evening, 10-day, whatever, we'll see what kind of night it is in Mexico. We have the normal main event we always see, Brandon Moreno versus Lonnie Kavanaugh. I like Lonnie, he's really fucking good, and I think he will be a top guy in the division someday, but that day is not today. Like, it sucks that Almbayev pulled out, because, like, this fight is just fucking dumb. Don't know why they didn't pick anyone better to step in against Moreno, who's coming off a win at least. Alan Nascimento, fucking Bruno Silva, anybody? Like, why the fuck did you pick Lonnie, who's coming off a loss? Royval, Alex Perez, like, none of those guys. Manel Cop. So, I don't get it, but whatever. Moreno's gonna. I hate to spoil my pick, but I don't think I really need to spoil anything here. Moreno's gonna win this fight easily. I don't see a world where Lonnie Kevnov wins this fight at all. So, I think Lonnie's good, and maybe 5 years he would win this fight, but he's not there yet. And yeah, Moreno's gonna beat him. Not really much else to say. And yeah, there you go. There's a little, I guess, quick overview of the card. It's not bad. Again, I really don't think it's a bad card on paper. I think the order's a little and I think the fights could be a little more competitive, because I think a few of them are kind of clearly favored towards the hometown guy. But it is what it is. And yeah, 13 fights. Somehow I'll go 8 of 13, because I've somehow got 4 weeks in a row of getting 8 right to start 2026. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, should be a fun card, I guess. Hopefully everything stays intact. Knock on wood. Looking at you, Quinones and Chasson. And let's see what happens in Mexico this year. Last year was... What was last year's Mexico card? Was that Moreno and Royval? What? No. What the fuck was last year's card in Mexico around this time? I can't even fucking remember it. Was that... No, Moreno Ursig was later in the year, I thought. No, it might have been Moreno Ursig. Either way, Mexico cards are either really hit or really miss. Noche as well, and let's see how our first trip to Mexico goes this year. We'll be back for Noche later in the year, hopefully in Mexico for once, and see what happens in Viva la Mexico. So, not really too much else to say there. I'm excited to talk about this card more during the week, but again, no point in talking about it really in depth right now, and we're going to do that on Tuesday and Friday, so let's save it, talk about it very vaguely, and give you a little taste of what we're getting this week. And I know a lot of people, I still get how people put their picks in like right after the last card, but and that works good for you. And yeah, let's see what happens. Should be fun. Please be better than the Houston card overall. Just be a good card. Give us like a 7 out of 10 card, please. I doubt it, but we'll see. And yeah, that's about that. Not really too much else to say there. Well, I'll keep going for a couple more minutes if anyone wants to hop in here. It seems like right after I talk about everything, people hop in here. So we'll see what happens again. I already talked about the 2 things I wanted to talk about because I have nothing else. Again, the NFL has nothing going on outside of the Rondo Moore thing, which I talked about last night, which is sad. NBA is the NBA. Ryan Garcia, I think talked about that last night, but God, Ryan Garcia getting the win. Who doesn't like King Rye? That Devin Haney fight will always be legendary, so good on him. And yeah, not really much more I can think to talk about. So I'll go another couple minutes till 12:10. But I might as well kill the screen share now. There's no point to keep it going. Shawnee Dicklin is going to destroy Hamza. I don't know what I'm. Well, I guess the swearing didn't make that message short. But what's the knots of Joseph? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. What's up to you? Always good to see new people in chat, and I agree. Strickland is going to destroy Hamza. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully we get that fight booked sooner than later, but it's Hamzat, so later is later, and we'll be lucky to see that fight before, like, October. So, yeah. So, but, yeah, I'll go a couple more minutes unless we start popping off. God, it went from 6 to 1 viewer real quick. We're pretty much 0. Because I know that 1 viewer is my fucking TV. So, like, were you all just fascinated by the fucking topology? I appreciate it. Now we got up to 6, but it's like, my bad. My bad, I guess my logo's too boring. So, I don't know, y'all want to look at topology so badly. I would have fucking kept it on screen, goddamn. But, yeah, I get Sunday nights late and all that, so. But, yeah, I'll go a couple more minutes. Again, for some reason, people always show up right after I talk about everything. YouTube is fucking funny now. They're gonna send notifications after I fucking already talked about something. So, they're fucking assholes, but that's YouTube for you, so. I'm always appreciated no matter when anyone comes in here, if anyone ever comes in here. I love it, and, yeah, so, again, I get it Sunday night, so. Is what it is. That's why I stream more than just tonight. I'll be live Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. We'll be talking about UFC Mexico on those days. I'll have a breakdown recap for that card on Friday and Sunday, like always. And yeah, hopefully the recap will be out a little bit earlier next week than it was this week. So that's that. And yeah, we'll have 2 shorts out tomorrow on the Houston card. So, talking about the fight ideas and the card overall. And, yeah, then we'll really be. I guess with how my content is, I look at Tuesday as the start of fight week, but obviously tomorrow or even today is, I guess, officially UFC Mexico week. So, somehow it's the final week of February as well, which is so goddamn weird, but is what it is. I can't believe it's already going to be March this time in a week when we're doing the UFC Mexico Hangover. And, yeah, well, see what happened to that card. Houston was alright last night. We'll see what Mexico gives us this week. And then after that is, I believe, Oliveira and Holloway, which should be really intriguing. Card is not phenomenal at all, but we'll see what that card turns out to be. Got some Fight Night main events booked with Buckley and Brady. Not great. Duncan and Wakano. That's okay. Then we'll see what else gets booked. Hopefully, finally, we can get 327 announced. That'd be really nice, but I have my doubts. That, and are we ever going to learn about the White House card? I fucking doubt it. Outside of that, I'm kind of just sitting on our goddamn hands and hoping for any bit of fight news for those cards. And hopefully we start getting them sooner than later. So I got my doubts about that. And yeah, not really much else to say there. So not much more I can think to say. And I'll go another minute or so if anyone wants to hop in and say anything. But since that seems unlikely and I'm watching the view count go up and down, I guess I'm just not that entertaining. I've learned that the hard way. Um, yeah, it's Sunday night and I'm not the most entertaining, so I'm sorry. But if we're all good for the night, if my main talking points and no one wants to hop in here, I guess we can call it a night. So that being said, to rest and not so Joseph, however you say your name. Shout out to y'all for hopping in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn so go by the end of 2026. God, I highly doubt it's gonna happen ever, but wishful thinking. And as always, unless I'm going to say something which will be if I am, I get short stream, but Sunday night no one gets hopping in here, so shit happens. As always, unless I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am, let's end the UFC Mexico week by saying, as always, RX out. Good vibes only. And